Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fresh Death Comics. It's our season finale.
Yes, bringing out 2022. It's ending.
So we're going to start out with a whole new season next year. You guys will be listening to this on the first or second. Let's be honest. By the time I edit and get this out, it's New Year's Eve officially. So we are toasting. Happy New Year's to you guys.
Happy New Year.
So here we are. We're going to finish out the year with a show. We're going to talk about, we have to finish up our Christmas stuff.
Yep.
We got AI technology to talk about because it's been taking over everything.
Yes, all the things.
And then we're going to finish out talking about our favorite movies of the year. So let's start off with Christmas. We were real excited. We were going to watch some Christmas movies. And then things went downhill very, very fast.
Yeah. Literally my last week of work, kind of had a stress-induced seizure. So that was super fun. That totally knocked us off track because I was in the hospital for a couple of days.
Couple of days? It was like a whole week.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a week. From Monday to Friday. And I couldn't... And all I could think about is, here I am. I have this house. And I'm like, this house is stupid without you. Like, life is stupid. Doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, all I want for Christmas is you. I want you to get better. I want you. And that was my wish. Now, because you've been in the hospital, I didn't tell my parents.
Yeah.
So you were in the hospital. Your sinuses are all kinds of messed up.
Oh, yeah. Like, normally I have... nosebleeds in standard heating, like radiator heating. So that's fun as is. So I have a humidifier, which I had been using, but guess where there's not a humidifier?
In the hospital.
Yep.
So you came back and you're sniffling. You can't, and your nose has just been runny, and you think you're sick. And I'm telling my mom, like, it's just allergies. It's this or that, because we're there for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then Christmas, we got scared because you've been so exhausted that you were like, I think I might be sick a little bit. I'm uncertain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that was enough. My sister being immunocompromised, we can't take any risks. So my mom's like, you're out of the house. You're gone. We're kicking you out. So we got...
Which I was fine with. Like, I felt horrible at that point. Like, honestly, the thought of going back to bed for a couple of hours sounded great.
So here I am in the hotel. She's sleeping. I'm like, I know she's not sick. She's just tired. So what do? So I just dawned on me that if genies are real, I just wasted a wish. Because I was like, all I want for Christmas is Amy. And that's all I got. I'm in a hotel room with you. Nothing else. Nothing's opened. I can't go anywhere.
Nope.
Like, I'm literally trapped with nothing to do. And I'm not a social person, so I don't want to sit in the lobby and talk to anyone. So I'm just playing video games. But there's certain things like Pokemon, I don't want to get too far ahead of you because I like battling with you and kind of going at the same pace. So
yeah, now that we've both evolved.
Yeah. Oh, my crocodile. But so here we are sitting in the hotel, and I'm just like, this sucks. So you wake up a few hours later and you're like, I'm feeling good. So we go down to the gas station, get some gas station pizza.
Because apparently I didn't say this internally. I didn't realize. Right?
You didn't realize what?
I thought that I had said to myself in my internal monologue, ooh, that pizza looks really good.
Oh, no, you said that out loud.
Yeah, I thought that was internal, not
no,
out loud.
You looked at that pizza and you were like, that pizza looks so good. So I said, you want pizza? And you looked at me like, yeah. Like, I do. Give me pizza.
How did you know?
I know. And I'm like, and the man looks at you and he goes, I was like, I guess we're taking a pizza. He goes, you better. That's why he said you better. Because you had said out loud.
I missed that. I totally missed that. I don't know if it was because we had also baked some brownies because we're spending time with the holidays with our families. So obviously trucks need to get involved.
Oh, my. Yeah, especially with your side. And so real nervous because the heat. I like it cold. I like to live in Antarctica and Alaska.
Yeah.
That's why I don't go down to Florida because it's too hot.
Don't like it.
I love the coldness. So the hotel room was so hot. I was
Boiling,
dialing.
like literally.
So I thought you had gotten me sick. So the next day I'm like, hey, I think I might be sick. Maybe it is a sickness. We start driving down the road. I have the windows down, and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling better. Feeling better. We drive up to Auburn, Weedsport. I'm like, oh, I feel great. I was just heated.
overhotted.
I was overhotted.
Overhotted.
So when I'm at your family's house, I'm like, this is gonna be terrible. I was not looking forward to anything.
I know.
Like I just wanted to hang out with your cousin Adam because he's like the coolest guy there.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Especially he was telling me like now he's working for the Nets, and I was like,
Yeah,
this is
I didn't
dope.
realize that until he said that. Because he's been doing like not exactly freelancing, but kind of paying to be a sales speaker of some sort, which is funny because now he and I both work in sales, just kind of
on just different mediums.
different mediums. So
And I think it's so cool. So I don't know he's the coolest guy I like there.
yeah,
Your family is just they're a lot. Like
They're a lot.
They all know it and own it.
Yeah.
Like your is it your cousin Gail or aunt whoever Gail is?
my cousin Gail.
She is amazing.
I know. I like
she
her a
takes
lot.
over the conversation like, hello, I am here.
Yep.
I am important.
Yep,
Did you
Gail.
not know I'm important? And like I knew your mom had said something about this to me. So that's why when she had said, oh, is that the baby? And she said a name. And I was like, no, I'm Brian. Because I know she always tries to make the attention about her. And so it's a little touch of like, oh, other people exist.
I know. And then she was just like, I know you. Like the doy.
So I liked pranking your family a lot.
I know.
I just,
Yes, yes. And then, oh my God, the gift exchange, the Yankee swap.
it was there was Yahtzee involved with the dice.
So it was not the traditional Yankee swap white elephant gift exchange. My cousin Adam, thank you, Adam, decided to add some Yahtzee dice elements, and he made his own dice, which tell me those weren't rigged. But anyways. But basically, you rolled 1, you get to keep the gift that you had. Rolled 2, and you pass to the left. Roll 3, pass to the right. Other stuff so one of them you get to steal, and then you swap with the person who's the birthday closest to you.
It got outrageous because I didn't know. Like you never were really guaranteed the gift you're gonna get. It was kind of the gift to your left or right is most likely what you're gonna end it up with.
And then I tried to mix it up by going like across the circle and mixing it up with some gifts over there. And yeah, it didn't work.
So a lot of family stuff. Our Christmas movies just got squashed. And I really, the more I thought about it, is I was trying to prove what Christmas was, I think, to myself and what I think the world like sees Christmas as. And I think I just hate Christmas.
Fair.
Like I like the like, oh, it's the Christmas season. I want to watch movies that have like basically it's a Christmas world, but we're gonna do other things, like Trapped in Paradise with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
like these.
I would have really liked to have watched that as well.
Yeah, so there's a lot of. I think that's what I like. I don't like any movie where like it's Santa and magic and these Hallmark movies.
Yeah, I can't. They're too saccharine. It's too much Christmas. It's too sugary. I like that. I don't know how else to say it. It's too unrealistic.
But
for
even
me.
the movies you chose, like Love Actually, I would prefer not to watch that and watch Trapped in Paradise next year.
That's fair.
Because I'm like, I'm tired of these same stories. And I feel like when you do a Christmas movie that's not a Christmas movie, it works. And I think that's what people like. Like Home Alone is about a kid who gets, Home Alone could be about any holiday, let's be honest. It's about a family vacation that goes awry when you forget your child at home.
Yes.
So it could happen if the whole family went to Disney. It could happen. It doesn't. Home Alone is not a Christmas movie in its essence.
Yeah.
Like yes, because it happens at Christmas and families go on vacation, blah blah blah. But technically, Home Alone structure could work any time of the year.
I agree.
So I think that's kind of ingenious, and maybe that's why Home Alone has lasted as long as it has, because it's not really. It's a movie about leaving your son behind, or if you
Yeah.
got left behind. I think that's what makes it special. Die Hard, the more I fought with you about is it a Christmas movie or not, it's a movie about a Christmas party, and people got together for it. Like Office Christmas parties suck. Here's your first example. So, in a sense, like it's a case for these movies the night before. It's about Christmas, but it's really about a guy's night out, and Christmas is kind
Yeah.
of the reason they get to hang out.
Yes.
So, I think I just learned that I hate Christmas movies.
Yeah, I think maybe you like more holiday themed films.
Because even so, we talked about last time we were going to watch The Miracle on Number Streets.
Yes. Which that version I hadn't seen, by the way, with Mara Wilson.
And John Hammond from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It was a terrible. I hated every single part of that movie. Like Mara Wilson is the best part of it, just because it's Mara Wilson.
What? Not Celia from Weeds?
She was fun, but like it's not like she was. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. They changed the ending of the movie from the original. So that I was not pleased about, and I don't really want to get into it because you haven't seen the original.
I haven't. So this means I gotta watch the original next year.
I would like to. I think it's the better version. And it's also not Coles, spelled differently than now Coles.
I thought about
And it
was
wasn't-
Cole. I forgot to
wasn't
look this up
Macy's.
before the podcast, but was Kohl's a department store at this time when we were kids?
That I
Because
don't.
I don't remember
I don't
Kohl's
remember.
existing until I was almost in college. Is when I started hearing about Kohl's.
Yes, I agree. I'd agree. I think maybe at that point it was like a chain, a franchise, but maybe not like
Like a small thing, like a Boscow's or something.
yeah, or that they were expanding, or if it was only in one region that they were really focusing on, or whatever.
So, needless to say, we did not do very well at our Christmas movies, and I think I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that too, especially like I think I talked about it a couple times on the pod, but my dad passed away 5 years ago from lung cancer, so that was it's just always been a hard time for me since then, and I did not realize it was a big number this year, so that was a surprise when that came around.
Which I never put the numbers together. I knew like it was around this time because I know you and Monk are very similar in that way. The TV show Monk
Yes.
that's when Trudy had passed away was during Christmas. So that's why I knew it was topical, but I didn't realize like it was also a big number year. So
Yeah. Well, neither had I. Both my mom and I were like, oh, we thought it was only 4, not 5, because we're really bad at math. So, just the holidays are tough, and if your friends have a tough time around the holidays, just they're not too psyched about Christmas. You don't really quite get why. Just let them have their time. That's my PSA.
Amy, the future is here.
It's robots.
It's robots, and they are creating art. That is what they've decided to do with their newfound technology.
Shit.
AI technology is here.
I don't like it.
So that's our next topic. We are talking about AIs. They are creating artwork. I posted some art online because I'm curious about what AI art really means for us. Like, is this the end of art? Is this good? Is this bad? I have been hearing from all my artist friends, from everyone we've interviewed, everyone we've met at cons. They have all spoken out and said how much they dislike it. This isn't art. This is stealing. I have asked you what you thought. We wrote online. We posted. I use Spider-Man as an example. Spider-Man is my favorite character. When I'm going to conventions, when I am going to any kind of pop market cons or small little mini cons, I'm always looking for a couple of things. A, if you got Spider-Man, you're going to draw my attention. That's how I met Joey Vasquez. Young, he's doing he does some Marvel stuff now, but when I'd met him, like he had he had some Spider-Man artwork in prints, and I said, "Ooh, I like that. Let me take a look." If you look around our studio, we've got artwork by Emily Swan. It's Spider-Man and Ninja Turtles.
And it's amazing. I love it.
I've got I love Spider-Man and any of his alternate realities that exist of him. I love. So Miles, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Punk, Spider-Ham might be the only one that's kind of on the. I really didn't like him until John Mulaney voiced him.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And now I'm like, you're not awful. I kind of like you. But even Spider-Man Noir, I've liked in the video games and reading every other iteration. So I use that as my example of AI. I have found some AI that was drawn by a computer, and here's the art. It looks phenomenal. And then I also posted art by two of my favorite artists, Ryan Stegman and John Romita Jr. You've met John Romita Jr.
Correct.
And then Ryan Stegman. At this point, you've seen so much artwork of his that I own that I'm pretty sure it would make you a Ryan Stegman expert as well at this point.
I can definitely. I feel like I'm an expert on his signature at this point.
It's a Stegosaurus.
He saw the opportunity and he went for it, and for that I applaud him.
But someone said it to him because I have early stuff where he doesn't do the Stegosaurus. It wasn't until he jumped on Superior where he started doing the Stegosaurus. So I don't know if it was someone suggested, like, yo, man, you're the Stegman, you're my dinosaur. And he was like, I should do that. Or is it something he always wanted to do and was too afraid? Something. It's been a question I've wanted to ask him for a while.
That's a good question.
That is the next time I meet him, I'm going to ask him.
All right, I'm going to hold you to it.
We asked online. We asked what you guys thought. I asked Hans as well.
Yes.
Hans's quote was, "Don't mess with AI, bro. I'm out."
That's a very Hans quote.
That is what he had thought.
Yes.
Brandon Gates from Corning, he said it could literally replace comic book artists. So not the biggest fan. They've already used AI for the art of published comics. Also, it wasn't someone that made AI Spider-Man, but something.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I don't think just because you put information into a computer, I don't think that actually makes it art. You know, art is meant to be felt, and I just think that that's not something that you can really capture with AI.
Also, looking on Facebook, Keaton from Endicott.
Yes.
He said, besides the severe theft issue that these databases pull from, I'm simply moved by things created by people. There's no soul to any AI art. And to be fair, they never look as good as an actual artist's work. I also find very little of it to actually look good. Certainly not better than what humans can produce. Not anti-AI art, but there is an interesting potential there. But as it is right now, it needs an overhaul.
I mean, possibly. I don't really agree on that aspect. I just don't get it the fuck out of here. I don't.
I think I
leave
agree.
art to artists.
I think I like AI art to a degree. There's a lot of people now who use the big tablets and they can draw on it, and it kind of will fix lines and make it look better and will help the artist out. Like they can fill in different things and then remove lines. Like these these tablets, is that not a form of AI helping them create the art? So how is it any different than AI art? For me, I have a lot of stories I would like to tell. I have the movie script I wrote definitely could be made into a comic. But to pay someone the pages to tell this story, when maybe I can spend half of that budget and make an AI thing of it, of what I picture it to be, how is it any different?
I guess you kind of have a point with that.
But at the same time, it will never look as, like, in my heart, I'm like, oh, I'd make this until I make it big, and then I would like to redo it with an actual artist, because I know I don't have the art skills, so I'm just paying what's available for me for art skills. But there's nothing that does replace, like John Romita Jr.'s Spider-Man flying in through the air, or Steve McNiven, the way he draws Wolverine's claws popping out of his fists, or even, rest in peace, Steve Dillon, who was the artist for Preacher. but he also did some. My first stuff was like the Wolverine Civil War. There are certain like people when they draw, it really distinguishes who they are, and it's really cool watching an artist grow and change. And also, there's certain things I love, like John Romita Jr. when he draws Spider-Man. Like there's always going to be a funny, a violent blood scene where he gets punched a lot, and there'll be blood all over the place. And the way he draws that blood, it's very cartoony, so it just fits and it looks amazing. But if someone else was to do the same scene, I'd be like, ooh, this just seems over the top and outrageous. So I think watching an artist grow is kind
Yeah,
of
watching their styles evolve and take shape over time. I think that's something that just AI can't really replicate, honestly.
But at the same time, I really like the fact that I could use AI technology and tell a story, a way for people who are not artists and have access to the proper money to pay an artist. So I guess the question is,
I see your point.
would an artist, if they would be paid the same amount of money as AI art, and I wanted to produce a comic, if they don't want to accept that money, what other choice do I have?
You just don't produce it.
I mean,
it's the
same reason of why you don't go the Walmart. You don't go to Walmart because, they're the evil empire. They're taking away jobs from local shops and local businesses. But at the same time, everyone still shops at Walmart. Very few people have taken this stand of like, oh no, they are hurting local businesses. They are just conglomerates, like Amazon,
Yeah.
Amazon's the next one that people are talking like,
Yeah.
oh, we don't like this. But it's just the way things go. So if AI technology is out there and I can produce a whole comic for like $100 versus maybe half a grand to produce it because they want so many, hundreds of dollars a page.
But there's also like the ethics of like that went into how they created this AI technology, right? So they fed in all of these different works of different artists and fed it into this database for them to be able to create AI art. But now, I mean, we're seeing bits of some artists' work ending up in some of this AI created, like their signatures are even showing up.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, some of their signatures were ending up in some of these AI created works of art.
But isn't that just what art is, though? Art is somebody, like when someone draws Spider-Man, they're not creating Spider-Man from just their image. They're creating it from what came before. They're creating it from Steve Ditko's putting on the page when he created Spider-Man, and everyone's doing a rendition of that. Ryan Stegman's, you could say his came from Eric Lawson and Todd McFarlane's era of drawing. He was influenced by theirs. So if you really isn't that just how evolution of things work?
But there's a filter there. There's a filter of an artist's perception. This is AI taking direct pieces of a work and applying it to a new thing as kind of hodgepodge sort of image. Wouldn't you then need to credit the artist? Wouldn't you then need to pay the artist for the use of that piece, that segment?
I will say, if it's one of those things where I took a picture of someone's artwork, like my artwork for Russell Dodman, I bought the original piece for his book Superbia. If someone reproduced that.
But I think that it's the fact that, like, to me, it's kind of more black and white because there's another sentient human being that is taking a perception of art and paying homage to it is different from scanning in and copying something and then pixelating an image together that's also sampling other artists' work directly. That's the dividing line for me, is with another artist, there's that more that filter, that perspective, that perception that every artist has.
I guess that's where I don't know is where does this technology, if they honed it in and controlled it, like, listen, we'll only have artists who approve of themselves being put into this work. Because I mean, the technology is here. If ethics work in, they can rechange it, start from scratch, and be like, all right, we will only have artists that approve of doing this. And so then you'll have like, hey, who wants to be part of the Google AI artwork? Submit your artwork for submission.
I think that would be kind of the best way to go about solving this, honestly. is, those artists who, don't, are more willing to test the waters on this, could submit for it and see in a couple of years where we all end up. But I think it's a lot of these artists that are getting upset that they weren't even like contacted, that this was being fed into them, into these databases.
Well, I mean, look at Comic Cons we go to, and they're like, "Don't take picture of my artwork. Like this is exclusive for them.
Yeah.
This is a print. You have to buy it. You know, like don't take pictures of our prints because that's the
And then
reason."
make your own poster.
Yeah, make your own poster. So I don't. I stand on that verge of I agree with you. I don't like what it's doing to local artists, but me not being very artistic.
Yeah, same. And I'm not very
And
artistic
so
myself.
I just stand there going, maybe.
But I feel like not being very artistic is just makes me appreciate artists more. I think what they can do is amazing, and that needs to be acknowledged. And I don't think that AI technology can really come close to that.
Well said. I like that because I think I want the easy answer out. I want this seems I can put what I want into the computer. Like I want this scene. It's going to make this scene for me, and there we go. But how well will it really look once it puts together? Is it going to look?
And then my other argument is that if enough people do this, is it gonna just start looking the same?
That's what I mean when I put out my book. Like you're going to be able to tell, like, oh, this is one of those AI created ones. You know, like clip art. You can tell the people who use clip art
Yeah.
in school or whatever. You're like, oh, I know what this is. You just use this.
Yep.
So I don't think we should just automatically abandon it. I think it might be the future. I think we just need to tread carefully because I think it's the same thing as cell phones. Like when cell phones came out, people were like, you're not going to be able to communicate with people anymore. No one's going to talk to anybody. And for a sense, that kind of came true.
Yeah. I mean, but I like the option of not talking to people.
Correct. And I think we evolve with the times. This is the way the artists are really going to have to step it up. They're going to have to prove themselves that they don't just, I don't know, prove themselves why they're great. And I think action scenes are where it's going to be at. Those still photos when people draw, I think that's where AI will achieve.
I mean, I'd need to see. I'd like to take a look at an instance of an action sequence like that.
Yeah, I looked up a few. I had it posted for a little bit, but it's very almost Picasso-y. Like it's very becomes geometric.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe I'll post a few of them when we talk about it. I'll post some of those photos so I can find it because I actually have a new phone, so I'll have to post the new ones.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I had to get a whole new phone over the break
yes,
here.
you came to the dark side.
Yeah, I now have an iPhone, so I now am stuck with whatever they decide to give me with things. Don't know how well I'll be able to post. It was easy. I had my phone. I could just do whatever I wanted.
Yeah, now you just gotta sign in 100 times.
And use my fingerprint and then somehow recite this iPhone lore of how much I love them forever and ever and give them my soul.
Yep, that was in the terms and service.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, it
Yes.
is the end of the year. We're still watching a whole bunch of movies,
Yes,
but
we
have
are.
watched a handful of movies. I'd like to know what your top 3 worst films were and your favorite films. Either one.
All right, I want to start with worst.
You want to start with worst? All right, we will start with worst.
All right, so my worst movies of the year. First of all, The Requin. I've talked about it before.
That was a bad film.
It was a bad. When you're rooting for the shark, that's not a good sign. But if you guys want to go back to our Halloween episode, I talked in depth about that. I'm not going to rehash it. I'm also going to say that the Munsters. That Munsters movie was terrible. I thought it was so bad.
I had blocked that out. I didn't have that on my list at all. Probably should have. But my movies, I still think I hate worse. So we're doing good. We're going to have different items.
Okay.
The Munsters was terrible.
Yes, it was. What's my last one? I got to go with Choose or Die. I don't think they were all Halloween movies. All 3 of them were bad. Choose or Die had so much potential and it just fucking fell short, and it was like they were so close and yet So far.
So Choose or Die was on my list as well. It
All
was my
right.
second to last one.
Ooh.
So the one above that, Jackass Forever.
I forgot I had that on the list.
I hate that film. It was not enjoyable. It was just I can't even remember one scene of being like, oh yeah, remember this? Like this is what saved a movie. Everything was just blah and everything I'd seen before.
Yeah.
And so the only difference is now they're older, and I remember Johnny Knoxville has white hair now. That
Yeah.
was about it. It was terrible.
Yes.
My worst film was The Samaritan. I don't know if you watched this one. I watched it with my dad. It was the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. No, I'm sorry, not Arnold. It was the Sylvester Stallone movie.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't see this.
Where he was this twin of a fighting group guy. Like the two were twins and they fought each other. One was good, one was bad, and the one brother has died and there's a group after him, and then there's another group that just remembers him being a savior. It's long and drawn out. It's terrible. This
Riveting.
kid's the plot line. The main story goes with this kid and his adventures through and discovering things, and it's just horrific. The best thing about it is Martin stars in it, and he's like this bookkeeper, and he's like, oh, you found him again, huh? You think you found the Samaritan? Because apparently he's been doing this the whole time.
Okay.
And that was just
I
the
mean,
highlight.
Martin Starr is usually the high
Correct.
point.
And that was what I was
of
excited
anything.
for. I was like, Martin stars in this? How bad could it be? But it was
It was really bad.
it was bad. It was horrific. So yeah, that was my worst film. So my best films. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So starting at
Number 3.
yes, I have the Weird Al movie.
Yes.
I enjoyed that movie.
How could I forget that?
That's fun. You can't alter your list now.
No, I'm adding it to my top
okay.
list.
Cool. I love everything about that movie. The fact that it was a parody upon a parody.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
This insane, like, Weird Al telling an outrageous tale of his stories and being like, I don't like to sing. Like, I create original music now, and no one can parody me. And it's just, the meta-ness of it was great. There was a whole all-star cast. Jack Black was in it for a little bit.
Yes. Conan was also in it, so it was great to see him.
So I really, really enjoyed.
And I think Daniel Radcliffe, like, fucking nailed it. I know it's not going to happen, but I want him to win an Oscar for this performance.
I want it to be nominated as well. Like, it's...
I mean, the song at the end of it was... Weird Al did it, and he was like, this can now be an Oscar-nominated original song, or something like that.
It was something like that. Yeah, like, nominate it.
Nominate it. I don't know why. Come on, Roku.
My number 2 is Spirited.
I knew it was going to be up there for you.
I really, really love Spirited. It is my favorite Christmas movie, I think, besides The Muppet Christmas Carol, because the two of them can go too well into each other.
Yeah.
But Spirited is just a lot of fun. I like the story of it. The songs are great. It's an overall great film, and one that I continually listen to
Yeah,
nonstop.
you did add it to our Christmas playlist.
And I've been listening to it nonstop when you're not around. I'm cleaning the dishes, so there's that. And then my number 1 film, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage. That movie is everything I wanted to be, hoped it would be, and so much more. Like, every time I wanted more Nicolas Cage, I got it. And at one point you go, I don't think I can handle any more Nicolas Cage. Oh, yes, I can. Hi. It's like when you're so full from dinner and you're like, I can't eat anything. I'm so stuffed and this was so good. And they're like, do you want pie? And you're like, I love pie. Yes, I will have pie.
Yes, just the fact that there was also Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage as like his.
No, he was playing Nicky Cage.
Nicky Cage, a figment of his, a branch of himself, talking to himself.
Beautiful.
Also, Pedro Pascal, so great.
What an adorable guy.
I know.
I really think I'm growing a likeness to him. In The Mandalorian, he's okay.
He's okay.
And I know in Wonder Woman he's in it and he's just okay. In
Him
this
playing
movie,
more eccentric characters is just what I've wanted to see. He is just a delight in this movie. I love him.
like, it was just pure joy watching him, and he's just like, "Hello, Mr. Nicolas Cage. Would you like to read my movie script, maybe?" And I'm like, "Ah, I get that."
Yes, and just not. It's so good. The fact that it was very aware of itself, that it was talking about how it was self-aware of what was happening in the same plot of them collaborating and writing their own movie script together, and then being like, "Oh, is the movie script really about our friendship?" Like it was so great. It was amazing.
There's just so much. Like, this movie is layered. I was scared to watch it because I wanted it to be as good as it is, and I'm so happy it is because I'm like,
Yeah.
this movie's perfect. So, what are yours, Amy? Let us hear.
All right, so number 3, I had Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I stand by this movie. I think it is so good.
Really?
Yes,
I don't even know if it's in my top 10.
I know,
That is.
but like, I love Wanda, and I kind of really enjoyed seeing her become the Scarlet Witch and become this character, just this evil character, essentially.
It's not a bad choice. Everything about that movie was. Sam Raimi did such an amazing job with it. Like, it was a horror movie.
Yeah, it was a lot more horror elements, and that's where Sam Raimi obviously kind of shines. So he just brought the visual aspect of it, the darkness of and tone as well.
I just didn't realize you loved it that much.
Yeah,
Like, I know you liked it. I know you've been asking to watch it again, and I'm just like, you should really. If you like it this much, you should ask me more. I'm just saying, like, jeez. I didn't really. Okay, what's number 2?
Number 2, and I'm really surprised you didn't put this on here. Clerks 3.
It's in my top 5.
It's in your top 5.
Clerks 3, I love it. And go ahead, talk about why you like it, and then I will destroy it. So
I thought it was a beautiful ending to the trilogy. Like, we kind of saw these guys' entire lives and just see them go from the convenience store to movies, back to the convenience store, and then with Randall writing his own film and having a heart attack and his brush with death. I just thought it was a really a really great mirror of how we can get so wrapped up into our own shit and not even realize that, like, oh, my best friend could not be here the next day because of, not taking care of himself.
I agree. And that's why it's up there for me. But my problem with the film is, how many times is he going to show us the Clerks movie? Like, if you really look at the script of this film, how much of it was original dialogue? Or how much of it was just him replaying the same scenes that he's done his whole entire life? Like redoing Clerks, redoing, because in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, he kind of does the same thing, where he does his whole thing of like, I'm Kevin Smith, and they keep on calling him Kevin James.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm Kevin Smith, and I just, I almost died from a heart attack, and so I just wanted to make this movie for you. We already got that already. It was just kind of like, I love it, like, because it is a continuation. I can really see how this movie, if you really think about it, the next, they could do another Clerks movie about Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Because the Clerks 3 movie technically is about Clerks 1, and then he stops it to make it him the star. Like, it's a very ingenious way of doing it, and that's why I give him credit. I just don't know if it's in my top 3 movies because of that reason. Because of this, I feel like he just kept on telling us the same story. And then there was that, not that he wrote it with them, but there were people who redid the Clerks movie of how it was filmed, like the behind the scenes stuff, and he was kind of involved in that. Mm-hmm. I feel like it just feels like a cop out a little bit. Yeah. Just,
pun fully intended.
Exactly. Like, it's good. It's good. I love the callbacks. Like, as a View Askew universe person, I don't know how I would change it. But as a film critic, a person who looks at film and when you compare it to other films, I feel like it falls short.
All right. Well, I mean,
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Like
it could change.
I love
it
Clerks.
Could change.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want Kevin Smith to be like, this asshole right here. You know, what does he know? Because I love Clerks. But I like to call the shit as it is.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's a cop-out.
All right. Strong words. So then do you want to hear what my number one is?
Yeah, let me destroy that one, too. No, let me hear what your number one is. Let's do this.
Do you have an idea of what it could be?
I do. And it would be the movie above Clerks for me of why it's my number this one.
Okay. My favorite movie of the year so far, and probably is going to stay this way, the Bob's Burgers movie.
I knew it. I knew it.
I just thought it was a wonderful, one-off. I've seen it multiple times at this point. The music is so great. I love the concept. Like, Louise's storyline is amazing. I love that just all the characters that you like are in it, and it has the same feel as the show.
I will not say Bill Hader is not in it.
That is the one negative I feel. But even Jordan Peele and came back to do voices for the movie. It was so good. It had no right to be that fucking good.
That's how well I think Massive Talent is above this film. Because everything you said is right, but it's got an amazing soundtrack. The movie is phenomenal to watch. I feel like maybe it's not movie level. Like, I feel like it's just an expanded television show. Like, I just didn't get it needed to be a movie. It could have been just a TV special. It could have just been a 2-part arc.
Yeah, but I mean, there hasn't been like a Bob's Burgers special. They've really all been the standard, 21-minute episodes.
Correct. So it didn't feel like a movie. Like, they missed something, and I don't know what it is. So don't be like, don't ask me. There's something missing that makes it not a movie.
All right.
And I don't know what it is.
I think your lack of the thing is a weakening point to your argument.
It is, and I don't have an answer, but it's missing something. It's like eating an amazing steak and being like, it's perfect. It's just missing something. And it might be because I missed a little bit of salt. It should have a little bit more salt. It was missing something to make it not a movie. And you know what? I think maybe I just thought about this.
All right.
Thank you, Peanut Butter Whiskey. What if this movie, it doesn't need... Did Felix exist before the TV show?
No. He
did
did not exist before this film.
If they created a character for the show that was going to be in the show from then on, yeah, this was an important thing, but that could have been any special as well. So it doesn't really need to be a movie. It's just it's missing something, and I don't know what it is.
All right, and that was not it.
No, it wasn't. I don't know what it is. I'll figure it out.
All right. Well, I gave you my list. You've debated my list.
Your list is great. For me, it goes Massive Talent, Spirited, Weird Al, Bob's Burgers, and Clerks. It's not like it's far off. You're not wrong. It's just the reason why they weren't my top. Because it just missed something. With Massive Talent, I felt like I got everything out of this film that I wanted. I think the only thing maybe I didn't get was a Lord of War reference, but maybe I missed it. It's a movie I'd like to rewatch.
This is a movie that probably has other Easter eggs hidden that maybe we missed. And maybe once we watch a couple more Nick Cage movies.
I never saw Snake Eyes. I haven't seen... There's so many... I was going on a whole journey of this before the movie came out.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it filled everything I need, but at the same time, I feel like my number one soundtrack on Spotify I've listened to is Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. I mean, you did add it to our show playlist.
So, it's not a bad choice. It's not like I hate your movies. Bob's Burgers disappoint. It missed something, and I don't know what it is.
Again, until you can come up with that thing. I think you're a weak ass.
So I lost. I lost because I can't think of it. You don't agree? You think it's the best movie ever?
No, I not the best movie ever. I think it's the best movie of the year that I've seen, and I stick by that. I do think, since you said I couldn't revise my list,
Yep.
I did not add The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So maybe this isn't my final list.
But Bob's Burgers is going to be at the top most likely.
Most likely, it will probably stay at number one.
So that's fair. So,
But we've got a lot of more movies to watch, so we're gonna continue this probably until Yabi Day.
that's right. It's coming up. We decided for my birthday we're gonna do the Wade Boggs challenge. So that's gonna be
Yes.
fun.
So it's gonna be a party.
He's my Eskimo uncle. So
Yeah. Wait, tell that quick story.
So in Elmira, we have it used to be a very similar to the Rumble Ponies here. They were a actual divisional group. I think they were part of the Yankees or the Red Sox, one of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Pioneers played, and the players would go on to play in the professional leagues from Elmira.
Mm-hmm.
So Wade Boggs played for Elmira Pioneers. During that time, he was dating my aunt. So they were dating for a while. Wade loved her. He proposed to her, and my aunt was like, "No, I don't want to date a baseball player. I need someone with a more reliable paycheck." And said no to Wade Boggs.
Oh my god.
Wade Boggs leaves Elmira, goes plays for. So who would know that Wade Boggs then goes to play for the Red Sox and the Yankees and Tampa Bay and becomes this huge, big, mega baseball star.
Yep.
Like, my aunt is a dummy. Like, how do you miss out? Like, you're like, nah. Like, I've always wanted to ask her. I've never asked her, because I've never seen her. Like, her and my dad don't get along, so, like, I don't ever see my grandmother's side or my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
The only time I did was when my grandmother died. That was the last time I saw anybody or talked to them. Like, they just don't talk. And so that's my number one question. If we were ever in a group and I was talking, I was like, "You dated Wade Boggs?"
I mean,
And
it's
he proposed, and you said no. And like, all I can say was, like, I just don't know the answer. So in honor of that, I have been trying to do the Wade Boggs challenge.
I think you were trying to do the Wade Boggs challenge before then.
I know, but now I have a thing to call it. It's like a
Yes.
goal. So this is the year. I think I will be able to do it.
All right, I can't wait to watch you.
So that is my goal for this
so
next
sloppy.
season. In January, when we open up, maybe we'll do a live. We can do a live stream, maybe, of it.
that
for at
would
least
be,
part of it.
Oh my god, yes.
Let me know if you guys want to see it. You want to see a live stream of me doing the Wade Boggs challenge? But let's do it. So,
Let's do it.
because we're ending the year.
Wade Boggs, 2023. Woo.
So we have been through a lot this year, Amy. We have bought a house. We've done.
We did.
We did She-Hulk. We watched all of that.
Yeah,
we watched so many Marvel movies
So
and
many.
television shows. You've watched Dragon Ball Z. There has been so much happen. What is one of your
Power
favorite?
Rangers.
Yup, and even that, like, there has been so much that's happened this year. What's your favorite thing that's happened?
I think being able to watch Pokemon for the first time, honestly, being able to watch it has just been something that I really enjoyed. I've enjoyed, the little episodes about Totodile and
I'm a dealer.
and seeing Totodile and being able to watch the movies now too after just watching the third one with Entei. And seeing Charizard come back, like watching his characters and his Pokemon still have this connection to Ash is just really like what I would have always wanted in real life. I just want real life to be like Detective Pikachu
That's fun.
and walk around with Pokemon.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Mine is I just really enjoyed Terrificon and getting a lightsaber.
Ooh.
Like that.
Yes.
The highlight is just us all hanging out together. Me, my brother, my
Yeah.
sister-in-law, Rocky, you. We're just all chilling and having fun, and just.
All right. Can I do an honorable mention?
No, yours is good too, because like my sister did some stalking and bought Amy this
The best
Totodile.
Christmas present ever.
This Totodile rock that's supposed to like help. podcaster friends. I don't understand rocks and healing elements, stones,
Crystals.
these crystal stuff. I don't understand them. It doesn't make any sense to me. She's explained it to me. Friends have explained it to me. I don't get it. So please explain this totodile stone.
Yeah, the name of it escapes me, but basically it's supposed to have healing elements and help to cure insomnia and restlessness, that type of thing. And I don't know about you, but I've been sleeping pretty well since we came home.
I know my sister got you this. Like I know she likes this rock stuff too.
Yeah.
And so, like, she got you this rock thing because you also believe in this rock thing power, and like,
Power.
it's cool that you guys can bond over this weird rock loving thing.
But yeah, it was like laser carved into the shape of Totodile from Pokemon,
Yeah,
and
which
it's
is one of
the
your favorites.
cutest thing ever.
It is
It's
adorable.
so cute. It looks exactly like Totodile, but it's in like this blue, beautiful crystal. I love it. It's my favorite thing. So thank you so much, Katie and Ryan.
So that will do it for us at Fresh Earth Comics. This is the end of the season.
The end of 2022.
So we will come back. Maybe we'll introduce it with the Wade Boggs challenge. That could be fun.
That would be
But
fun.
we're gonna give ourselves, a couple weeks off. We'll figure out what we're gonna do for the new season, some kind of fun thing,
Yeah.
and we'll be back with the season premiere.
2023, here we come.
All right. So Amy, like when we come back, we'll be ready for the season premiere.
Of season number 8.
I can't believe we've gotten that far. We've been doing it for a long time, so I can't wait.
Season number 8.
Episode 1 coming soon.
Coming soon.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
friends and fans of the pod. We wouldn't be here without you. So keep on keeping on and inputting.
Everyone from Seattle, the Germany,
Yes.
the Hutcherson, Kansas. I've been amazed at everyone who's been listening to the show. Thank you so much. We are appreciative this holiday season for you guys.
Yes.
You're seeing everyone watching the show from all areas of
The world.
the world is pretty awesome.
It's so cool. It's great.
I saw that we were in Africa for a few of the places.
Wow.
That was really cool.
Didn't
South
know that.
America, we were down in there.
Hey.
Like, it's just kind of cool. We're kind of getting all over, and it's only because you guys. Like, you guys share it and talk about it and end up watching it, listen to us.
And subscribing.
So we appreciate you guys. We love your faces. And we'll see you
in
next year.
2023.
Happy New Year's.
Peace.